The bar had that worn-down, end-of-the-night feel, like it had given all the energy it had hours ago. The air smelled of grease, beer, and old wood soaked with memories. A cracked jukebox hummed classic rock just loud enough to drown out silence, but not loud enough to lift anyone's mood. The biker had been there too long. He took up more space than he paid for. Broad shoulders, thick arms, a leather vest stretched tight across his back. A faded skull patch sat crooked between his shoulder blades. Every laugh was too loud, every gesture a little too sharp. People nearby kept their eyes low, pretending not to notice him knocking elbows, swearing at the TV, snapping his fingers when he wanted another drink. Lena noticed. She always did. She'd learned how to read men like him early on, restless, simmering, looking for something to push against. She kept her voice level, her posture relaxed, like calm was a shield she wore to work. "Sir," she said, stopping beside his table, "I'm going to need to close you out." He squinted up at her, irritation crawling across his face. "Already?" "I just got this one." "You've had a few," she replied gently. "House rules." That's when he stood, too fast, chair legs screaming against the floor. A few heads turned. Someone muttered, "Here we go." Lena stepped back instinctively, trying to move past him, but his arm swung out, careless and heavy. A metal ring on his glove snagged her shirt. Rip. The sound was small, but it sliced clean through the noise of the bar. Everything stopped. The jukebox clicked to the next track, suddenly far too loud. A pool ball rolled off the table and dropped to the floor, untouched. Lena froze, eyes down, breath caught halfway in. She felt the cool air against her shoulder and instinctively reached up, fingers curling into the torn fabric. The biker blinked, annoyance flashing. "Hey, don't—" Then he saw it. The exposed skin wasn't bare in the way he expected. Dark ink stretched across her shoulder, sharp lines softened by age. Symbols, letters, purposeful. Not decoration, history. His face changed instantly. Color drained. His jaw tightened. The room stayed silent as the meaning hit him. That marking," he whispered. Lena lifted her eyes, and in that moment the whole bar understood something was about to surface. Something far heavier than a torn shirt. The biker took a slow step back, like the floor had shifted under him. Up close, the tattoo was unmistakable. Not flashy, not artistic, functional. Thick black lines formed a unit insignia that hadn't been worn in years. Beneath it, the lettering was slightly faded, the kind of ink that had lived through sun, sweat, and time. "Never forget Kandar Pass," a murmur rippled through the bar. Not everyone understood what it meant, but a few did. A man at the counter stiffened. Another quietly set his glass down. The biker swallowed. His tough, careless posture collapsed inward, shoulders rounding like he was suddenly carrying weight he couldn't put down. "I know that mark," he said, his voice lower now. "I've seen it before." Lena held the torn fabric closed with one hand, the other resting calmly at her side. Her expression didn't accuse him. It didn't forgive him either. "You were there," she said. He shook his head quickly. "No, I was supposed to be." He let out a breath that sounded like it had been trapped for years. 2 weeks before deployment, I shattered my leg. Drunk driver. Missed the whole thing." Silence pressed in. Lena nodded once, slow. "My brother didn't miss it." The words landed hard. "He wrote me letters from there," she continued. "Said it was quiet, too quiet. Then one day the letters stopped." The biker stared at the floor. His hands trembled just slightly. "Only one from that unit made it back," he said. "He comes to our club sometimes. Doesn't talk much." "That's how I know," Lena replied. "He recognized the tattoo, too." She tucked the torn shirt together more securely, standing straighter now. Not defensive, resolved. "You grabbed me," she said evenly. "You didn't mean harm, but meaning doesn't erase impact." He nodded. Once, then again. "You're right." He pulled a thick roll of cash from his pocket and placed it on the table. Far more than the bill. He didn't look at it when he did. "I'm sorry," he said. Not loud, not performative, just honest. Lena slid the receipt toward him. "Next time," she said, "remember that people carry battles you don't see." The biker turned toward the door, paused, then spoke without facing her. "They were brave," he said. "Every one of them." The door closed behind him with a soft chime. For a long moment, no one moved. Then the jukebox hummed on, glasses clinked again, and the bar returned to life. Changed, quieter, as if everyone had been reminded that respect costs nothing, but ignorance can tear far more than fabric.